Welcome to Facts TV News, where everything is true. JMed expresses shock at factory's boss murder in Spanish Town. The Jamaica Manufacturers and Exporters Association has expressed its shock at the killing of Nadine Kelly-Reid, managing director at UL Manufacturing Limited, a business located at St. John's Road in Spanish Town, St. Catherine, on Friday. The police said Kelly-Reid, 47, of Voss Delight, Kitson Town, St. Catherine, was killed in a gun attack at the factory in which two other persons were injured. Reports are that about 10:31 a.m., Kelly-Reid and two other persons were at the factory when armed men alighted from a motor vehicle and opened gunfire. The police were summoned and all three injured persons were taken to hospital, where Kelly-Reid was pronounced dead, and the other persons were admitted in stable conditions. Investigations are ongoing into the development. Jacure returns to Dutch court. Reggae artist Jacure will head back to the Netherlands court to battle for his freedom as he faces a raft of charges, including attempted murder and assault. We don't have any updates. The trial is still scheduled for March 8, press officer for the Netherlands Public Prosecution Service Franklin stated. He was arraigned in a Netherlands court last year and spent his 43rd birthday as well as Christmas and New Year's Day behind bars. Jacure is facing attempted murder, attempted manslaughter, aggravated assault, or attempted aggravated assault in relation to an alleged stabbing incident involving event promoter Ricardo Papa Blake on October 1st at Dam Square in the city centre of Amsterdam, where he had been scheduled to perform. He has since secured legal counsel and could face as much as 15 years if convicted. The True Reflection singer had been previously run-ins with the law. He was charged with illegal possession of a firearm, rape and robbery with aggravation, and following his conviction, received a 15-year sentence in 1999, but was released early in 2007 after serving 8 years. 4 years later, he went on trial on drug possession charges after police found a small quantity of marijuana in the artist's motor vehicle during a spot check in St. Andrew. Jacure is known for songs including Longing For, Call on Me, and Unconditional Love. Two charged in Bermuda over raft-up involving reggae star Shaggy. Bermudan authorities say they have filed charges against two people in connection with an alleged breach of coronavirus COVID-19 rules during a boat raft-up show where reggae star Shaggy performed. While no charges will be filed against Shaggy, real name Arvil Burrell, who put on a live performance during the raft-up, Bermuda's Director of Public Prosecution, Cindy Clark, said prosecution approved two charges against Matthew Strong and Silange for breaches resulting from the June 8, 2021 event. Clark revealed that at the time of the said event, raft-ups were banned in Bermuda. Clark shared that it is alleged that the defendants aided, counseled, and procured Arvil Burrell to contravene on the COVID-19 rules in that he, having traveled in Bermuda on June 8, 2021, did not quarantine until he received his negative COVID-19 result. The second count alleges that both Strong and Solange failed to take all reasonable steps to maintain appropriate physical distancing by not wearing a mask when one is required, as required by COVID-19 regulations. The raft-up involved dozens of social media influencers brought to the island by U.S. fashion brand Revolved. Clark said the case is expected to come before magistrate court on Friday. Taxi operators withdraw service demanding parking facility in Christiana. Scores of students were left stranded Monday morning as taxi operators in Christiana, Manchester, withdrew their service in protest against an alleged lack of parking facilities for cabbies in the town. One taxi operator who asked not to be named reported that since the onset of the novel coronavirus in 2020, cabbies have been forced to vacate a private property which they had been using for parking. He is calling on the Manchester Municipal Corporation to identify a designated parking facility for the operators. Another taxi operator in a social media video, which has gone viral, shared similar sentiments. Too much ticket. We can't stop on the roadside and take up a bag. Over 200 taxi in a market street lane. When the market people them, nah stop fight. Every minute the market people them, look up in a car with them hand cart, he stated. Women deserve more protection, JFG says. Executive Director of Jamaica's for Justice, JFJ, Carla Golotto, believes that while the world was busy finding solutions to tackle the spread of COVID-19 pandemic, there was an ongoing pandemic affecting the society behind closed doors. This pandemic, she stated, is persistent violence against women. Carla comments come just in time for International Women's Day, which is recognized on March 8. Violence against women is a worldwide issue, and since the COVID-19 pandemic, reports indicate that there has been a drastic increase in the numbers of incidents. The lockdowns have forced victims to be in the presence of their abusers, Carla said in a statement. She continued, the loss of jobs has been a stress factor for many as they become dependent while limits the choices they have, so they remain in these situations. Explained that women's rights have significantly increased since the Second World War, when their energies were to substitute traditional men's skill to fill the gaps and the needs of countries where men were engaged as combatants. Carla added, women achieve awareness and learn that they were able to work, earn and recognize their values and their rights. Women face discrimination in the workplaces with unequal salaries versus that of men, and they are vulnerable to face sexual harassment with no law to protect their rights. As such, she said women should be recognized and respected for their work in advocating and fighting for the rights and privilege they share today. While empowerment and achievements are clear and undeniable, violence against them, especially in the family context, is heavily affecting their emancipation from fear, Carla stated. Abuses are a daily practice, and the number of femicides is a clear indication that men oftentimes believe they are superior to women. In 2022, there is still a strong reality in some countries that women are considered as private property and weddings are decided by their parents. The right to education is still a dream for many, she went on to say. Additionally, Carla noted that many women internalize centuries of subordination that have come to justify abuses. Blue eyes, bruises, broken ribs, and they still state, he beats me because he loves me, she said. We do not need a robust campaign to educate our sisters that violence has nothing to do with love. It is the insufficient engagement of our society in working on men and women together to introduce the concept of equal rights and dignity. Women need to support in their claim they need shelters to go when family house becomes a living hell, and they need to know that nobody will use their difficulties to take custody of their children, she explained, adding that women need to know and trust a system where violence is punished and instruments are offered to them to build their independence and self-awareness. Women's requests need to be honored by our government with a robust legislative framework and a consistent action directed not only to punish but to educate, Carla stated. Health Ministry, PAHO, renew calls for healthy lifestyles. With a 42% increase in the prevalence of diabetes since 2001 and over 70% of premature deaths resulting from non-communicable diseases (NCDs), the Ministry of Health and Wellness (MOHW) and the Pan American Health Organization (PAHO) are renewing its calls for people to practice a healthy lifestyle. The organizations also noted that 50% of Jamaicans are overweight or obese, while 1 in 3 live with hypertension. These troubling facts were brought into sharp focus as Jamaica joined countries across the world in observing World Obesity Day on Friday, March 4, under the theme Everybody Needs to Act. Additionally, the World Obesity Federation predicts that 1 billion people globally will live with obesity by 2030. World Obesity Day therefore aims to promote practical solutions to end the obesity crisis. Obesity is linked to increased risk of NCDs, which increases the likelihood of complications from COVID-19 and puts an increased strain on the health system. While the government of Jamaica has implemented several policies including the food-based dietary guidelines and wellness campaigns to support proper nutrition and encourage physical activity, combating this crisis requires each of us to take responsibility for our health, shared Christopher Tufton, Minister of Health and Wellness. He continued, all sectors of society have a role to play in ending this crisis. Workplaces through virtual wellness and wellness lifestyle programs can help employees while civil society must continue to advocate and implement programs at the community level. We are in this together. In the region of the Americas, obesity rates have tripled since 1975. PAHO provides technical cooperation to countries to provide measures intended to reduce the risk of developing obesity. These include breastfeeding, reducing demand for sugary drink and products with high calorie content and low nutritional value by implementing taxes on these foods. PAHO also advocates for the regulation of advertising of these foods and the establishment of front-of-package warning label on food. Commenting on the importance of healthy eating among children, PAHO and World Health Organization WHO representative to Jamaica, Ian stated that obesity crisis is not alien to our children. In the region of the Americas, 3.9 million children under 5 years old are overweight, and we run the risk of perpetuating negative health outcomes in our region. We can help our children by modeling the lifestyle where we make healthy food choices and become more physically active. It is recommended that adults do at least 150 to 300 minutes of moderate intensive physical activity or at least 75% to 150 minutes of vigorous intensity physical activity, or a combination of that throughout the week. Children and adolescents need 60 minutes of moderate intensity daily physical activity. Activities can include stretching, dancing, running, taking the stairs, doing squats, jumping jacks, and gardening. 34 new COVID cases in Jamaica, 3 deaths reported. The Ministry of Health and Wellness reported 34 new COVID-19 cases and 3 deaths on Sunday, March 6, bringing the infection total to 128,213 and total deaths to 2,830. The new cases comprised 17 females and 17 males with ages ranging from 2 to 93 years. The cases were recorded in St. James 7, St. Anne 6, St. Catherine 5, Westmoreland 3, Manchester 3, Portland 2, St. Mary 2, St. Elizabeth 2, Hanover 1, Kingston and St. Andrew 1, St. Thomas 1, and Trelawney 1. The 3 deaths occurred between July and November 2021 and involved 3 males from Westmoreland, ages 86, 91, and 73. There were 189 recoveries in the last 24 hours, bringing the total to 78,849. Currently, 97 people are hospitalized, 5 of whom are severely ill, while 4 are critically ill and 21 are moderately ill. The Health Ministry reported a positivity rate of 3.3%. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for daily updates.